The Handmaid's Tale's 5th season premiered on Hulu last month. While we have yet to dig our claws into the latest season and see what's going on with the former handmaid, who's currently a Canadian refugee, yeah, we're a little late to the party, we do have some thoughts about how hero and villain are not always linear in the show. In this video, we'll explore the toxicity and how deeply rooted it is in The Handmaid's Tale. To start with, let's go over what happened in the previous season of the show. Season 4 began with an injured June being brought to a safe house by the handmaids, belonging to 14-year-old Esther, who's married to the elder Commander Keyes. For their next step, June scouts a safe house and discovers a brothel with high-ranking commanders and Jezebels. With the help of Esther and the handmaids, she poisons the commanders but is soon caught by Nick. Her lover/commander/I arrests June and extracts the location of the rest of the handmaids by threatening to hurt Hannah after throwing 2 Marthas off a roof. June gives the location, and the handmaids are detained and sentenced to Magdalene Colony. On the way, the handmaids manage to break free and make a run for it, but only June and Janine survive. The girls get to Chicago, where Gilead is closing in. After a bombing, she's rescued by her best friend and former handmaid, Moria, who then takes her to Canada. Janine and Esther are captured by Aunt Lydia and are once again sentenced to the handmaid's life. Fast forward to the Waterfords. We learn that Serena is pregnant, and she and Fred are still very much under arrest. However, the couple manages to weasel an immunity deal with the ICC, and understandably, June is livid with anger. A new deal is struck with Gilead, according to which Fred is to be taken back there. Instead of taking Waterford to Gilead, Agent Tullio arranges for him to be dropped at No Man's Land, where June and the handmaids ruthlessly killed Fred. The last episode of the season shows a bloody June arriving home in front of Luke and very uncertain of where she goes from here. Now for some philosophy. What happens when the lines between the hero and villain start to blur? The ending of the previous season left us chilled. Don't get us wrong, we fully agree that Commander Waterford had it coming, but the moral compass of the show, June, taking matters into her own hands, and that too so cruelly, left us a bit concerned. What happens when the lines between characters begin to fade? Season 4 left us with much to think about, as we see June tiptoe around the dark side, and feel some semblance of empathy for Serena. June's spiraling was not a one-off instance triggered by Waterford's immunity, as we see her character crack and witness something dark lurk underneath. We bring the 8th episode of Season 4 into consideration, where the former prisoners of Gilead sit together for group therapy. Throughout the session, we see Moss's character coax the girls, asking them to tap into their anger. While the scene is very strong and emotional, watching the protagonist give voice to the anger and darkness of her peers seems very unsettling. We wonder if you can get a girl out of Gilead, but can you get Gilead out of the girl? In another instance, as June faces Serena, she launches into an epic attack of words, and we realize how the former handmaid hates the commander's wife more than the commander himself. Another occasion that left us horrified was when June Luke. After being subjected to sexual torture for almost a decade, the trauma is clearly reflected in the choices the former handmaid makes. Following up, is the hero versus villain narrative really that simple in The Handmaid's Tale? Occasionally, the toxicity is so deeply ingrained in a narrative that it becomes difficult to trust characters again. As an audience, it becomes hard to tell who's a hero and who's a villain. Serena's unexpected pregnancy catches the audience with as much surprise as herself. After decades of trying to conceive, we can't help but feel happy for her. She requests a meeting with her former Martha, Rita, to whom she asks for help. Despite her nicety towards her, we do sense an undercurrent of entitlement on Serena's part. Over the years, it's been nice to witness Yvonne portray humanity in short bursts, and at some points, we've even considered her to be June's ally. The question is if the pregnancy will offer the character a much-needed redemption arc, or will the murder of her husband push her over the edge? This is yet to be seen. When speaking about The Handmaid's Tale, sure, June is the hero of the show from the first season, but we also see her moral compass become faulty, enabling her to make questionable decisions. Her character appears to be focused on revenge rather than healing, and the concern is shared by her best friend and former handmaid, Moria, who grounds her friend throughout. The act of murder by the protagonist can be viewed through 2 lenses. Was murder an objectively villainous act, or was it heroism as it stopped another woman from being subjected to the same torture. Will June stay true to her purpose of rescuing her daughter Hannah from the clutches of Gilead, or will she be consumed by revenge? Whatever it may be, we're eager to see what Season 5 brings for Elisabeth Moss's character. Now for some other news. First up, Elisabeth Moss sends heart racing in a chic monochromatic look. The 40-year-old actress was spotted in New York at the Palifest, sporting an all-black look. The blonde beauty was joined by other members of the Handmaid's Tale cast for a special preview screening of the show. In attendance were Max Minghella, Sam Yeager, Ann Dowd, McKenna Grace, and Amanda Bruges. Elisabeth opted for high-waisted palazzo pants, a tucked-in blouse, and a slightly oversized faux leather black jacket. To style the look, the Emmy Award winner sported sleek dangly earrings, red lipstick, and a mid-part. The fuss-free business chic outfit reminds us of June. It's strong, it's dominating, and it puts the person at the center of attention. The cast of the show paused on the red carpet and posed for a quick photo session. Watching all of these people outside of the dark and dreary setting of The Handmaid's Tale almost seems surreal. The special preview screening was followed by a Q&A session. Next up, does the madman alum think the world is becoming more like Gilead? Elisabeth Moss admitted that it's depressing when she compares women's rights presently to when she started filming for the dystopian series back in 2017. At the Palifest, the actress said that there wasn't any other way to say it, and that she thinks that a lot of depressing things are happening. At the Q&A session, Moss urged people to express their opinion and vote. Given the premise of the show, where it essentially paints a target on fertile women's backs and uses them as breeders for the hyper-conservative city of Gilead, we do see where Elisabeth is coming from. The Golden Globe Award winner added that the show should be a warning for women and that it has made her more of a feminist. She elaborated by saying, "The whole idea behind the show is that people tend to walk around thinking that this could not happen here." Moss explained that the foundation of the show rests on the prospect of the most unthinkable happening and that it is explored even more in Season 5. She also hopes that it would make people introspect about their values. The actress, who's also an executive producer on the show, said that the set is a happy place. Moss disclosed that just because the show is dark and sad doesn't mean that the set should be the same, and that she's a big believer in a positive workplace. Lastly, Yvonne Strahovski reveals how she gets into Serena Joy's headspace. While promoting the 5th and penultimate season of The Handmaid's Tale, Strahovski was asked if she tries to bring compassion to one of the most hated characters on TV right now. The Australian actress spilled that she does try very hard to do so. She explains that she tries to approach the character from a human perspective, and with the realization that Serena's motives are mostly driven by very real, true emotion, fear and sadness. Yvonne elaborated that she doesn't see Serena as a spiteful or purely evil character. The perspective is rather important, and says it humanizes her, and it hopefully makes her a wee bit more relatable to audiences who find her behavior heinous. We've got to commend the actress for having us feel sympathy for the character, albeit it's mostly short-lived. When asked if motherhood has affected how she performs on the show, the actress said that it has. She explains the thought by saying that motherhood has provided her with a sense of protection towards her baby, which she translates into the show. You understand the lengths you would go to protect your baby. The actress also said that she won't wear teal anytime soon at least. Never on the red carpet, as she looks too much like Serena Joy in it. That'll be all from our end today, folks. We'll catch you in the next one. What are your thoughts on the new June? Do you think Serena and June will have an epic showdown in Season 5? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. See you later.